When the small man in the purple hoodie and worn sneakers walked into Prestige Properties on Rodeo Drive and pointed at the $4.2 million Bel Air mansion listing, senior realtor Victoria Ashford had to suppress a laugh. "Sir, that property requires significant financial documentation," she said, her Chanel suit gleaming under the lights. "Perhaps I could show you something more realistic? Condos in Culver City start at $400,000. The man in the hoodie didn't move. "I'll pay cash." Victoria exchanged a glance with her colleague Marcus. This guy was delusional. But then something happened that would change everything. Behind them, the older janitor mopping the marble floor heard that voice, froze. His mop clattered to the ground. "Principe," he whispered. And Victoria was about to learn that the confused tourist she'd just dismissed was Prince Rogers Nelson, and he wasn't buying the mansion for himself. Prestige Properties, Rodeo Drive, Beverly Hills, Thursday morning, September 2014, 11:23 a.m. Floor-to-ceiling windows, marble floors, digital screens displaying million-dollar listings, 3 realtors at desks, Victoria Ashford, 52, platinum blonde, dripping diamonds, Marcus Chen, 35, sharp suit, on phone with client, and in the corner, invisible to everyone, Roberto Martinez, 68, mopping floors, janitorial uniform, kind eyes, moving slowly, arthritis making each motion careful. The purple Range Rover parked across the street. Prince emerged. Purple hoodie, black jeans, simple sneakers, sunglasses, small afro, walked past Gucci, past Prada, into the real estate office. Looked ordinary. Victoria glanced up. Sized him up in 2 seconds. Hoodie, sneakers, wrong neighborhood. She put on her professional smile, walked over. "Hello, sir. Can I help you find something?" Prince pointed at the digital screen. "That one. Bel Air Estate. $4,200,000. 6-bed, 8-bath, infinity pool, recording studio." Victoria's smile tightened. "Oh, that's a very special property. Are you in the market to purchase? Or just browsing? How many bedrooms?" 6 bedrooms, 8 bathrooms, 8,500 square feet. It's listed at $4.2 million. We're only working with pre-qualified buyers. When can I see it?" Victoria almost laughed. Caught herself. "Sir, I appreciate your interest, but this property requires significant financial documentation. Perhaps I could show you some lovely condos in Culver City, much more accessible. $400,000 to $600,000 range." Prince's voice stayed flat. "I asked about the Bel Air estate." Victoria's patience thinned. "And I'm telling you that property is for serious buyers. Cash buyers, preferably. Do you have proof of funds? Pre-approval letter?" Marcus walked over. "Victoria, is there a problem?" Looked at Prince. Didn't recognize him. "Sir, what Ms. Ashford is trying to say is we work on commission. We can't waste time on—" Prince cut him off. Still calm. "I'll pay cash." Victoria and Marcus exchanged glances. Was this guy serious? "Sir, I don't think you understand. $4.2 million. Cash. That's—" The mop handle hit the marble floor. Loud, echoing. Everyone turned. Roberto stood frozen, staring at Prince, eyes wide. "Principe?" His voice barely a whisper. Prince turned, saw Roberto. His face transformed. The cool mask dropped. Genuine surprise. Then joy. "Roberto? Roberto Martinez?" Roberto's eyes filled with tears. "Dios mío, it's really you." Victoria looked confused. "Do you two know each other?" Prince walked toward Roberto. They embraced. Not a celebrity fan hug, a real hug. Long, emotional. "How long has it been?" Prince asked. 23 years, Roberto said, voice shaking. Victoria shifted uncomfortably. "I'm sorry, but we're conducting business here." Prince didn't even look at her. "Roberto, what are you doing here? Why are you—" He looked at the mop, the uniform. didn't finish the question. Roberto's face reddened. I work here. 3 years now. Night shift usually, but Miguel called in sick, so... Night shift? How old are you now? 68. Prince's jaw tightened. You're 68 years old, mopping floors at night? Marcus stepped in. Excuse me, this is highly irregular. Sir, if you don't have an appointment... Marcus's phone buzzed. Text from the receptionist downstairs. Google the guy in the hoodie. That's Prince. Marcus's eyes went wide. Showed Victoria his phone. Google image search. Prince Rogers Nelson, side by side with the man in the hoodie. Victoria's face went white. Mr. Nelson, she stammered. We didn't realize... Prince ignored her completely, focused on Roberto. When did you get out? 2009. The room went silent. Get out of where? Prince looked at Victoria and Marcus. Can you give us a minute? Of course, Mr. Nelson. Take all the time you need. They retreated, but hovered close enough to hear. Prince and Roberto sat in the waiting area. Leather chairs. Uncomfortable silence. You don't remember me, do you? Roberto said. Not really. First Avenue, Minneapolis, 1991, the night after the Diamonds and Pearls launch party. Roberto's eyes widened. You remember? Prince's voice was quiet. You saved my life. September, 1991. First Avenue Club, late night. Prince leaving through the back exit. Alone. 2 men in the alley, armed, trying to rob him. Roberto worked club security. Happened to be there. Intervened. Got stabbed in the process. Saved Prince's life. You were bleeding, Prince continued. I called the ambulance, waited with you. You told me not to tell anyone. Didn't want the press. I tried to pay your hospital bills. You refused. I tried to give you a job. You said you didn't save me for a reward. I didn't. Then you disappeared. I looked for you, but... Roberto's voice dropped. I got arrested. 6 months later, different situation. Drug possession. It was mine. I'm not making excuses. Did 18 years in Stillwater Prison. Prince processed this. 18 years. Got out 2009. Parole. Worked construction for a while, but I'm old now. My knees, my back. Can't do heavy labor. This job, it's minimum wage, but it's something. Roberto's voice cracked. My wife, Maria, she died while I was inside. Lung cancer. My daughter, Isabella, she won't speak to me. Says I abandoned her. I lost everything, but at least I have this job. Prince sat silent for a long moment. Then he stood, walked back to Victoria's desk. The Bel Air mansion. I want to see it. Now. Victoria jumped. Of course. I can have a showing arranged this afternoon. Now. And Roberto comes with us. Victoria blinked. The janitor? Prince's voice went ice-cold. His name is Roberto Martinez. And yes, 30 minutes later. Bel Air Hilltop. Stunning property, views of Los Angeles sprawling below, infinity pool, tennis court, guest house, recording studio and converted garage. Roberto had never been in a place like this. Walked like he was in a museum, afraid to touch anything. Victoria gave the tour. Professional voice back. As you can see, Mr. Nelson, the previous owner was a music producer. The studio has full soundproofing, vintage equipment, board from Capitol Records. Prince interrupted. Who lives here now? It's been empty for 6 months. The owner relocated to London. Prince walked through every room. Roberto followed quietly. Kitchen with marble counters, master bedroom with balcony overlooking the city, library, home theater. Roberto touched nothing, just looked. Prince stopped in the studio, sat at the vintage mixing board, tested a few keys on the piano. What do you think? He asked Roberto. Roberto's voice was careful. It's beautiful. I've never seen anything like it. Could you live here? Roberto stopped walking. Que? What? You. Could you live here? Roberto laughed nervously. Principe, this is a $4 million house. I mop floors. Prince turned to Victoria. What's the owner's bottom line? Real number, $3.9 million. Cash, quick close. Prince pulled out his phone, made a call. "Laura, it's me. I need you to wire $4 million to—" He looked at Victoria. "What's your escrow account?" Victoria gave the information, hands shaking. Prince continued on the phone. "Today. Yes, today. No, I'm serious." Hung up. To Victoria. "We'll close in 10 days. All cash. No contingencies." Victoria's face lit up. $120,000 commission. This is incredible. Mr. Nelson, congratulations. This is an amazing property for you. "It's not for me." Silence. Prince looked at Roberto. "It's for you." Roberto's legs gave out. He sat heavily on the marble floor, breathing hard. No, you can't. I can't accept." Prince knelt beside him. 23 years ago, you saved my life. You got stabbed for me. You didn't ask for anything. Not money, not fame, nothing. Then life knocked you down. And now you're 68 years old, working night, shifts, mopping floors. This ends today." Roberto was crying. "I don't deserve this. You saved my life and asked for nothing. I'd say you've earned it." Prince stood, turned to Victoria. "I have some conditions." Victoria pulled out a notepad. "Anything. Roberto's daughter, Isabella Martinez, lives in Pasadena. I want you to contact her. Tell her about this. Don't tell her I bought it. Tell her an anonymous donor purchased it for her father. Done. Set up a trust, $500,000, monthly distributions for living expenses, medical care, property taxes. Roberto can't touch the principal, just the income. If anything happens to Roberto, the house and remaining trust go to Isabella," Victoria wrote frantically. "Of course." Prince wasn't finished. "One more thing. How much do you pay Roberto to mop these floors?" Victoria shifted uncomfortably. He's through a contractor. Probably $15 an hour? You're going to hire him directly as your facilities manager. $50,000 a year. Health, insurance, retirement plan." Marcus, who'd been standing in the doorway, spoke up. "But he's a janitor." Prince's voice went cold. "He's a 68-year-old man who saved my life, and he knows more about hard work than anyone in this office. Roberto, you work day shift now. No more nights. You're managing facilities, not mopping." Roberto nodded. Couldn't speak, just sobbed. Prince turned back to Victoria. "Now, about your commission." Victoria calculated in her head. $4 million sale. Roughly $120,000 commission. "Yes? You're going to donate it. All of it." Her face fell. What? You laughed at me when I walked in. You judged Roberto for mopping floors. You thought you knew who deserved what based on clothes and job titles," Victoria stammered. "Mr. Nelson, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean—" "Your commission, $120,000. You're donating it to a re-entry program for former inmates. I'll match it. $240,000 total." Victoria's voice was small. "Yes, of course. I understand." Prince's voice softened slightly. "You'll make plenty of money in your life. This is a chance to learn something more important." 2 weeks later, Roberto moved into the Bel Air mansion. Empty house. Roberto walking through rooms. Still couldn't believe it. Prince was there, helping him move in. Just the two of them. Very private. "I keep thinking I'll wake up," Roberto said. "You're awake. This is real." Prince showed him the studio. "I know you're not a musician, but maybe your grandkids will be." Roberto's face fell. "I don't have grandkids. Isabella won't speak to me." "Give it time." 6 months later, March 2015. Isabella Martinez, 43, nurse, received a letter from Victoria Ashford. Explained, "Your father is living in a home purchased by an anonymous donor." Included the address. Isabella drove to Bel Air, skeptical, thought it was a scam. She arrived at the mansion, rang the bell. Roberto answered the door. They hadn't spoken in 5 years. "Mija?" he said, crying. Long silence. "Papa?" "What happened?" They sat by the pool. Roberto told her everything. The stabbing, saving Prince's life, prison. losing. Maria, the job mopping floors. And then he walked in, 23 years later, and he did this. Isabella was crying. Why didn't you tell me you were struggling? I was ashamed. They embraced. First time in 5 years, 1 year later, Christmas 2015. The mansion had changed. Isabella and her 2 children, Roberto's grandchildren, 8 and 11, had moved in. Multi-generational home. The recording studio converted to a playroom. Roberto, now 69, was thriving, worked day shift at Prestige Properties, had purpose, had dignity. Christmas evening, family gathered, extended family, Isabella's kids running around. Doorbell rang. Roberto answered. Prince stood there, holding a gift. I was in the neighborhood. Roberto's eyes filled. You're never in the neighborhood, Principe. Today I am. They sat on the patio, watching the grandkids play in the pool. How do I repay you? Roberto asked. You already did. September 1991. You saved my life. This is just me saying thank you. 23. Years late. You could have written me a check. Money doesn't fix everything. But a home can rebuild a family. Camera pulled back. 2 men, 2 generations, sitting in silence. Inside, a family laughing, living, loving. 1 act of violence in 1991 created a debt. 1 act of grace in 2014 repaid it. And a life, 3 lives, a whole family, was changed forever. 2024, 10 years later. Roberto Martinez still works at Prestige Properties, age 78, refuses to retire. I have purpose. Why would I stop? Isabella Martinez runs a free clinic for formerly incarcerated individuals in South L.A., funded by the Prince Rogers Nelson Foundation. Victoria Ashford has donated over $1.2 million to reentry programs since 2014. I was taught to judge people by their bank accounts. Prince taught me to judge them by their hearts. Prince never spoke publicly about buying Roberto the house. When asked in a 2015 interview why he was so private about charity work, he said, "Kindness isn't a performance, it's a debt we all owe to each other." The man in the purple hoodie wasn't window shopping. He was repaying a 23-year-old debt. 1 stabbing, 1 life saved, 1 mansion given, and a family rebuilt. Because sometimes the janitor you barely notice saved a life you'll never forget.